We have all heard about Andrew Tate and his brother Tristan Tate ongoing cases regarding human trafficking. After being detained for months and countless rejected appeals, it seemed like nothing was going the brothers' way. But now it seems like the Tates have finally won. Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we will be discussing how Andrew Tate has finally won big in his human trafficking case, and what will be the next course of action for the provocative internet star. So without further ado, let's get started. Before we talk about how he actually won, let me give you guys a rundown of the events that led to his ongoing human trafficking case. It all started on December 29 when armed members of Romania's anti-corruption squad, which basically hunts down criminals, took Andrew and Tristan Tate to jail, amongst other suspects. Both of them were accused of rape as well as human trafficking. The capture itself was quite eventful, as according to various reports, officers wearing baklavas are said to have broken into Tate's complex at night and found large sums of money, knives, and weapons. Based on the evidence and the various sources of information, the Romanian government had enough to take both Andrew and Tristan into custody. That is why they were restrained and led away. That is not all, as Georgiana Nagel and Alexandru Luana Radu, a former police officer of Romanian ancestry, were also arrested. The four are suspected of being involved in human trafficking, notwithstanding their denials. The case really damaged Andrew Tate's reputation all over the world. Things were even worse before the case, as some days before the arrest, Tate was in the midst of an online tussle against Greta Thunberg, who is an environmental activist. Tate made fun of her and tried to ridicule her by posting videos where he would go against Greta's environmental beliefs. He even mentioned how his many cars would be destroying the environment due to their exhaust fumes. Just days after this online battle, he was stormed by the Romanian anti-corruption squad and arrested for human trafficking. Well, as you all know, in many nations throughout the world, human trafficking is considered a serious crime that involves the exploitation of people for sexual or labor purposes. And the fact that the Romanian authorities were tipped off by the United States of a possible case of human trafficking against Tate, it came as no one's surprise that the Romanian authorities were taking this case very seriously. This is why, after initially having them detained for 24 hours on human trafficking charges, the authorities managed to extend the detention for 30 days, while they tried to find any evidence that would confirm their suspicions. Andrew Tate tried every possible way to appeal this extension, but to no avail. His appeal was not only rejected, but 11 of his luxurious cars were also seized, as it was suspected that these cars were bought with money earned from human trafficking. Aston Martin Vanquish S Ultimate and Rolls-Royce Wraith were among those opulent vehicles. Funnily enough, these were the same cars through which Tate made fun of Greta Thunberg. Things turned from bad to worse when on the 23rd of January 2023, the judge considered the particularly dangerousness of the defendants when extending Tate and his brother's custody, which was extended in Romania for an additional 30 days until February 27, while prosecutors continue their inquiry into organized crime and human trafficking. They appealed this extension once again, but like before, it was again rejected. And what's worse is that on the 21st of February 2023, the detention was further extended by 30 days, a decision which again could not be overturned by the Tate brothers. As you can see, Andrew Tate was facing defeats and failures all his time during the case. From being detained to having numerous appeals rejected, it would be an understatement to say that Andrew Tate was well and truly screwed. But things changed dramatically when his capture was changed to a house arrest from which he couldn't leave. He was constantly being visited by police officers, making his life a living hell. So it is safe to say that he was losing badly. First, the Greta Thunberg issue, then his seized cars, not to mention the constant rejection of appeals. Many people would give up at his point, but not Andrew Tate. He is not one to back down and managed to convert this temporary defeat into a big win. In recent news, it looks like Andrew Tate will finally be able to get rid of this long and troublesome case once and for all. This was obvious when Andrew tweeted a religious line where he is talking about how God punishes the hypocrites and only the truth prevails. This was surely pointed at the current scenario revolving around him. Such words are only used when you know there isn't a shred of evidence against you, and you will be off the hook. Besides the tweet, he also posted a video that quoted him saying, "When you tear a man's tongue, you are not proving him a liar. You are only telling the world that you fear what he might say." This clearly shows that Andrew believes he will win in court now, and when he gets out, he sure will talk about all the things done to him and tell the world how he was wronged. He will also stress how he was forced to remain quiet towards his massive audience worldwide. You can bet after he leaves, the reputation of the Romanian authorities and whoever captured him will be massively tarnished. Andrew Tate's lawyer also weighed in with his thoughts. He said, by choosing to address the press first before any legal action had been taken, the women in this potential case prove beyond reasonable doubt that they are not seeking accountability or justice, but publicity and monetary compensation. As you can see, their lawyer also thinks that the Tate brothers will be able to get rid of the whole situation scot-free, since their whole defense is about the two so-called victims who, according to the Tates, are misleading the whole investigation. The Tate brothers have requested to have them removed altogether. If this request is approved, the whole investigation will be dropped, resulting in a big win for the Tate brothers. That is not all. If these victims are removed and the Tate brothers get released, it basically implies that they were innocent all this time and had been captured for no apparent good reason. Now obviously they would want something to cover up all the time they spent detained due to a crime they didn't even commit. So it seems like when the two women do get thrown off the case, they will be again tried for misdemeanor and lying, which will most likely end up in them getting jailed. And trust me, they will be in captivity for a much longer time compared to the Tate brothers. And if that wasn't enough, the spokesperson for Tate also said that Andrew Tate has previously also been accused of various serious crimes that are fully fabricated, which is why they have always been dismissed. Bringing up more cases just on the basis of the previous one that was dismissed isn't the best strategy if you want to topple Tate's supremacy. The statement also said, Andrew Tate and his team are determined to clear his name and restore his reputation, and will take immediate and decisive legal actions against defamation, slander, and perverting the course of justice. So as you can see, it seems like Andrew Tate has finally won, and they will be looking to be in the driving seat afterward, pursuing the two so-called victims, which will surely get jail time. So you can imagine a lot more court hearings for the Tate brothers, but this time they will be on the offensive rather than on the defensive. We hope they finally finish this case off and come home victorious once and for all. That is all for today, folks. Hope you liked the video, and if you did, do give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more Andrew Tate related news. See you in the next video.